How to repair scratches and dents in wood furniture. Hey DIY enthusiasts! Welcome back to Weekend Workshop Pro, where we turn weekend projects into professional results. Today we're tackling something that every furniture owner faces, those annoying scratches and dents in wooden furniture. Whether it's your antique dining table or that coffee table that lost a fight with your vacuum cleaner, we'll show you exactly how to bring these pieces back to life. Let's quickly look at what we're dealing with here. Surface scratches, these light marks that barely break the finish. Deep gouges, where the wood itself is damaged. Dents. These depression marks usually from impacts. Water rings, those dreaded white circles from wet glasses. Before we dive in, let's get our workspace ready. Here's what you'll need. Wood filler in various colors. Fine grit sandpaper, 220 and 400 grit. Wood markers or crayons. Clean white cloths. Iron and water for steam treatment. Wood stain matching your furniture. Clear finish. Putty knife. Cotton swabs. Now, safety first. Always work in a well-ventilated area. You'll need safety glasses. Dust mask for sanding. Work gloves when handling chemicals. And keep your workspace clean and organized. Now that we've got our workspace set up, let's tackle those annoying light scratches. You know, the ones that catch your eye every time you walk past your furniture. First up, let's start with the simplest solution, wood markers and crayons. These markers come in different wood tones, and here's a pro tip, don't just buy one color. Get a set because you'll often need to blend multiple shades to match your wood perfectly. Here's how we do it. First, clean the scratch with a soft cloth to remove any debris. Now, start with a lighter shade and gently color in the scratch. See how I'm working in the direction of the wood grain? That's crucial for a natural look. If it's too light, layer on a darker shade. Too dark? Quick tip! Take a little mineral spirits on a cloth and lightly buff to remove some color. Practice on a hidden spot first. Now here's my favorite trick that might surprise you, the walnut method. Yes, a regular walnut from your kitchen. Take a raw walnut, crack it open, and rub the meat of the nut along the scratch. The natural oils penetrate the wood, and the color often matches perfectly. See how the scratch almost disappears? The heat from rubbing helps the oils penetrate deeper. Let it sit for about 5 minutes, then buff with a soft cloth. For those who prefer ready-made solutions, let's look at some commercial scratch repair products. My go-to is this Wood Fillers Putty Restoration Kit. Unlike markers, these usually come with a finish that helps protect the repair. Apply in thin layers, that's key. Too much product will make the repair obvious. Let each layer dry completely. For best results, apply with these foam applicators rather than the included brushes. Look at these results. Pretty impressive for just a few minutes of work, right? Remember, the key to success with light scratches is working gradually. You can always add more, but removing too much product can be tricky. Coming up next, we'll tackle those deeper scratches that need a bit more attention. Stay with us. Quick tip. Store your repair markers tip down for at least an hour before using. This ensures smooth, even color flow. Mastering wood scratch and dent repairs. Now we're getting into the challenging stuff. Those deep scratches that go beyond the surface finish and into the wood itself. Don't worry though, I'll guide you through every step. First, let's talk about wood filler. I've tested dozens over the years, and here's a secret. The cheapest isn't always the worst, and the most expensive isn't always the best. For deep scratches, I recommend using a slightly softer filler that won't shrink as it dries. Look for labels that say non-shrinking or minimal shrinkage. Step 1. Preparation. Clean out the scratch with a soft brush. See all this debris? It needs to go, or your filler won't bond properly. For really deep scratches, I use compressed air to ensure it's completely clean. Step 2. Filler application. Here's where most people go wrong. They try to fill the entire scratch at once. Instead, work in thin layers. Press the filler firmly into the scratch using your putty knife at a 45-degree angle. Notice how I'm overlapping the edges slightly? This ensures we don't leave any gaps. Let each layer dry completely. I know it's tempting to rush, but patience here means less sanding later. Now here's where the magic happens, sanding. But before we start, let's talk grits. We're starting with 150 grit to level the filler, then moving to 220 grit for smoothing, and finishing with 400 grit for that perfect surface. Crucial tip. Always sand in the direction of the wood grain. See how I'm using light pressure and letting the sandpaper do the work? Never rush this step. Feel the surface frequently with your fingertips. Your fingers can detect irregularities better than your eyes. Now for the trickiest part, color matching. Here's my foolproof system. Start by testing your stain on a hidden area or scrap piece. I like to mix different stains to get the perfect match. Here's my mixing palette. Notice how I'm documenting the ratios. This is crucial if you need to repeat the color later. Apply the stain with a cotton swab for precise control. Better to build up the color gradually than to go too dark too fast. Show blending technique. See how I'm feathering the edges? This helps blend the repair into the surrounding wood. If you get it too dark, here's a pro tip. A touch of mineral spirits on a cloth can help lighten it. Look at this transformation, from an eye-catching scratch to nearly invisible. Coming up next, we'll tackle those frustrating dents, and I'll show you an amazing steam trick that will blow your mind. Always test fillers and stains on hidden areas first. Keep your sandpaper clean. A sanding block helps. Document your color mixing ratios. Work in good lighting. Natural light is best. Now we're going to tackle everyone's favorite furniture fix dent repair. And trust me, what I'm about to show you might seem like magic at first. These dents happen to the best of us. Dropped objects, furniture moves, or that time your nephew decided to use the dining table as a drum set. Let's start with the famous steam method. This works incredibly well on raw wood and most finishes, but always test in a hidden spot first. Here's what you'll need: an iron, distilled water, a clean white cloth, and some patience. Watch carefully. Dampen your cloth, not soaking wet, just damp. Place it over the dent and apply the warm iron using medium heat, no steam setting. See what's happening? The wood fibers are absorbing the moisture and swelling back to their original position. Keep the iron moving in small circles. And, like magic, the dent is rising before your eyes. But here's the crucial part. Let it dry completely for at least 2 hours before deciding if you need another treatment. Now for those stubborn dents that don't respond to steam, we have another trick. Place just a few drops of water directly into the dent. Watch how I'm using this precision dropper. We don't want water spreading everywhere. Now take this wood burning tool with a flat tip. Gently press the heated tip near, not in, the water drops. The heat creates steam right in the dent. Sometimes this works even better than the iron method for concentrated dents. But what about those really deep dents? The ones that laugh at our steam treatments? For these tough cases, we combine techniques. First, try the steam method to raise what we can. Then, carefully sand the area. Apply wood hardener to strengthen the damaged fibers. Use our wood filler technique from the last segment. And finally, color match. Demonstration of combination technique. Important tip. For antique or valuable pieces, always consult a professional. Some older finishes can react badly to moisture. Look at these results. This table edge, this chair leg, this cabinet door, all fixed using these methods. Remember, never rush the drying process. Keep the iron moving. Test on hidden areas first. Document your process with photos. Pro tip: keep a spray bottle with distilled water nearby. Sometimes you'll need to adjust moisture levels quickly. Coming up next, we'll talk about those crucial finishing touches that make your repair completely invisible. This is where all our hard work comes together. The repairs are done, but how we finish them will make the difference between nice try and wow, I can't even see it. Let's start with staining those repaired areas. I have a little secret to share with you all. Instead of using just one stain color, I create what I call a stain palette. Look here. Basewood stain, a slightly darker shade, a slightly lighter shade, and a toner for final adjustments. Start with your base color, applying it with a fine artist's brush. See how I'm feathering the edges? This prevents those telltale rings around your repair. Now here's the pro move. I'm using these makeup sponges from the dollar store. They give you amazing control and blend better than expensive applicators. For the protective coating, we need to match the sheen of the existing finish. Look at your furniture from an angle, see how the light reflects? That tells you if you need matte, satin, semi-gloss, or high gloss. Critical step. Before applying the finish, lightly scuff the area with 0000 steel wool. This creates a tooth for the new finish to grip. Apply your finish in thin layers. This is crucial. I'm using these foam brushes, applying in the direction of the grain. Notice how I'm extending slightly beyond the repair area? Between coats, light sanding with 400 grit paper. Wipe with a tack cloth, then apply the next coat. Usually 3 thin coats does it. Here's another pro secret. To blend the edges of your new finish, dampen a cloth with mineral spirits and gently feather the edges. This softens that transition line. Look at these results. The repair is virtually invisible and, more importantly, protected for years to come. Remember, let each coat dry completely. Keep your workspace dust-free. Work in good lighting. And always test your sheen match first. One final tip, after everything's fully cured, give it 24 hours, run your hand across the surface. You shouldn't feel any difference between the repair and the original finish. Before we wrap up, let me share some game-changing preventive tips that'll save you time and money. First, prevention is better than repair. Use felt pads under all furniture legs. Keep coasters handy and actually use them. Consider furniture wax. A light coat every 6 months works wonders. Watch those humidity levels. Wood loves consistency. Show maintenance routine. For weekly maintenance, dust with a microfiber cloth, not feather dusters. Clean spills immediately. Don't let them sit. Check for loose legs or joints. Early fixes prevent bigger problems. Now let's look at what we've accomplished today. This dining table edge from deeply scratched to flawless. The coffee table dent completely vanished. These chair legs looking factory fresh again. Remember, folks, wood furniture isn't just furniture. It's an investment. With these techniques, you can keep your pieces looking beautiful for generations. Always work in good lighting. Test in hidden areas first. Take your time with repairs. Document your color mixes. If you found this helpful, you know what to do. Smash that like button and hit subscribe. Join our Weekend Workshop Pro family. Drop a comment below with your biggest furniture repair challenge. I read every comment and might feature your question in our next video. Remember, workshop warriors, every piece of furniture deserves a second chance.